Ever wonder how those amazing movies and shows go from just a bunch of raw footage to those polished scenes that just pull you right in?
It's like magic, right?
Yeah, it really is. Today we are diving deep into the world of post-production
We're going behind the scenes.
to uncover those movie magic tricks. You might be a video editor yourself,
Or maybe you're dreaming of creating your own videos.
or perhaps you're just curious.
About the wizardry behind those incredible lightsaber battles and those moments that just make you cry.
Whatever brings you here, get ready, because we are about to reveal the secrets of turning raw footage into a true masterpiece.
From rough cut to a finished product.
Our guide for this deep dive
Yes.
is Master Post-Production by Monroe Productions and Deducos.
Great book.
We'll unpack their insights, revealing how the pros take a pile of Lego bricks, all those individual shots, and they somehow transform them into a finished movie.
That awe-inspiring spaceship you see on screen.
Like, how do they do that?
It's incredible, and it's not just about special effects.
Right.
In today's digital world, even a simple video for social media
Totally.
benefits from good post-production. It's the difference between a video that just gets lost in the scroll
You scroll right past it.
and one that truly captures your attention and makes you want to watch.
Okay, so let's break down this post-production journey. Think of it like a roadmap.
Yeah, a roadmap.
We start with something called ingestion and organization.
Ingestion and organization. This is where you take all of the footage
All the footage.
and you bring it into your editing software. You start to get it sorted, kind of like a chef lays out all their ingredients before starting to cook a gourmet meal.
I like that analogy.
And just like with cooking, each stage of post-production builds upon the last. After you've gathered and organized your ingredients, next comes the rough cut.
The rough cut, okay.
You're assembling that basic story structure from all those pieces.
You're starting to get a sense of what the story's going to be.
Right, and then you move into fine editing, where you refine those cuts, you smooth those transitions, and you really start to shape the narrative.
You're adding those details that make it special.
Exactly.
It's coming to life.
It is.
Okay, so now you've got your basic dish prepped.
We've prepped our dish.
Now it's time to add some flavor.
Ah!
That's where sound and visual enhancements come in. Think music, sound effects, all those little details that just make a scene pop. And finally, just like presenting your dish, like a culinary creation on a beautiful platter, it's time for the final delivery, exporting your video.
In the perfect format to share with the world.
So when we talk about editing,
Yes, editing.
it's important to remember it's not just about chopping up footage.
It really isn't. It's about storytelling.
Storytelling, okay.
A skilled editor. Well, they can guide your emotions, create rhythm and pace, even influence how you perceive the story. Think about it. You're watching a movie, you're on the edge of your seat.
Oh, like a chase scene.
Yeah, a chase scene. But then it seamlessly shifts to a slow, emotional moment.
Wow, yeah.
That's the editor at work. They're shaping the experience.
It's like they're an invisible force.
They are.
Guiding the viewer. So it's not just about what you cut,
No.
it's how you cut it.
No.
And I bet there are some techniques that they use
Oh, all the time.
that we don't even realize.
Yeah, absolutely. One really fascinating example is something called the Kuleshov effect. Filmmakers discovered that just by putting the same facial expression with different images,
The same face.
same face, they could change how the viewer interpreted that expression.
Interesting.
Imagine a close-up of an actor with just a neutral face.
Okay, neutral face.
Cut to a bowl of soup.
They must be hungry.
And the audience might perceive hunger. Now cut to a child in a coffin.
Oh, wow.
And suddenly, that same neutral face now reads as grief.
So powerful.
It demonstrates the power of editing to shape meaning and evoke specific emotions.
I'm going to be looking for that now everywhere. That's so cool. So we've got casing. We've got these subtle psychological tricks.
Psychological tricks.
What other techniques do editors use to just bring a story to life?
Well, seamless transitions are really important to keep viewers immersed in the story. Think of a well-written book. You don't want to be jarred out of the experience by choppy jumps between paragraphs.
I'll keep reading.
It's the same with film. Expert editors use techniques like fades, dissolves, and creative transitions to move gracefully between scenes, guiding your eye and keeping you hooked.
It's like they're creating a visual language,
They are.
using these cuts and transitions
Visual language.
to speak directly to our subconscious.
Exactly. And then there's layering and multicam editing, especially important when a scene is filmed with multiple cameras. This technique weaves those different angles together
Oh, wow. Yeah.
seamlessly, creating a dynamic and engaging visual experience.
I'm picturing those dialogue-heavy scenes where the camera cuts back and forth between the actors. If it's done well, you don't even notice the cuts, but it just keeps the scene visually interesting.
Precisely. And it allows the editor to choose the best moments from each angle, highlighting specific reactions and emotions to enhance the performances.
It's like having a front row seat to the action,
Yes.
but with this guide, carefully curating the experience for you.
Carefully curated.
It's amazing.
Speaking of guiding the experience, let's move on to color because it's way more than just making things look pretty.
Okay, color.
Color correction and grading are like setting the mood lighting for your movie.
Oh, you mean like how those warm Instagram filters
Yeah,
can make a photo feel so cozy and inviting?
that's a great analogy. Color correction fixes any issues with the footage, making sure the colors are balanced and true to life.
Okay, so it's fixing problems.
But color grading, that's where the artistry comes in. Filmmakers use color to evoke specific emotions, set the tone, even guide your interpretation of the story.
So it's kind of like how a painter uses color
Exact.
to create a specific mood in a painting.
Precisely. Think about The Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
The filmmakers used a very distinct green tint throughout the film to represent the artificial world
The Matrix.
of The Matrix, contrasting it with the warm, natural tones of the real world.
So the color is telling you where you are.
Yes, the subtle color choice subconsciously influences the viewer, reinforcing the themes of the film.
I never would have thought about that. That's so cool. I never realized how much thought goes into something as seemingly simple as color.
There's a lot to it.
It's not just about making things look good.
No.
It's about using color to tell a story.
Exactly. And this masterful use of color can be seen in so many films. For example, in Silence of the Lambs.
A great film.
The director used a stark contrast of colors to symbolize the duality of good and evil. The FBI scenes are bathed in bright, sterile whites,
Representing order.
representing order and reason,
Mm-hmm.
while Hannibal Lecter's lair is shrouded in dark, shadowy reds, symbolizing danger and primal instincts.
It's like they're painting the emotional landscape of the film
They are.
with these color choices.
And remember, just like a painter carefully chooses their palette,
Yes.
filmmakers use color to create a visual language that speaks directly to our emotions.
Like another layer of storytelling.
It is.
Okay, so we've seen how editing shapes the narrative.
We have.
We've seen how color sets the mood.
Yes.
But what about sound?
Oh, yes.
Surely that plays a huge role too.
Absolutely. Get ready to dive into the sonic landscape of film because next we're going to be exploring the world of sound design and mixing,
Okay, sound design.
where we add another layer of emotional depth
Ooh, I like it.
and make the viewer feel truly present in the story.
I'm all ears. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are continuing to explore that behind-the-scenes magic that turns raw footage into the movies and shows that we all know and love.
Last time we talked about how editors are kind of like master storytellers,
Yeah.
using techniques like the Kuleshov effect and those seamless transitions to just craft this really captivating narrative.
Right.
We even uncovered the secret language of color,
Yeah, the color.
how filmmakers use those specific hues to evoke certain emotions and set the tone.
It's amazing how these technical elements that we don't often think about can actually have such a huge impact on how we experience a film.
It's true.
But today, I'm ready to dive into something that I feel like I always take for granted, which is the sound.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sound often goes unnoticed,
Totally.
yet it plays such a crucial role in our emotional connection to a story.
I know.
Think about it, like watching a horror movie without those creaking doors and those eerie whispers
Oh, yeah?
and those sudden jump scares.
You need that.
It just wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be scary at all.
Exactly.
But even in movies that aren't trying to make you jump out of your skin, I feel like sound just completely changes how you feel about a scene.
Absolutely. Sound design and mixing, they can amplify emotions, they can heighten that tension,
Okay.
and even make a scene feel so much more realistic. Let's break it down.
Okay, yeah, let's break it down.
First, you've got audio sync and cleanup.
Audio sync.
It seems simple,
Yeah.
but ensuring that the dialogue and the sound effects are perfectly in sync with the visual,
Yeah, you need that.
that's crucial.
It's got to be
Is
perfect.
even a slight delay
I know, it's so distracting.
incredibly distracting.
You're pulled right out of it.
It just pulls you right out of the story.
It's funny how sensitive our brains are to that.
I know.
I imagine removing any unwanted background noise is really important too.
Absolutely. You don't want that stray cough or that rumbling truck ruining a dramatic scene.
No.
Once you've got that clean audio, it's time to start layering.
Layering.
Think of it like an orchestra.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Each instrument contributes to the overall symphony.
So you're layering these sounds.
You might have dialogue, music, sound effects, and ambient sounds all working together to create this rich tapestry.
I'm picturing that scene in Jurassic Park when the T-Rex appears for the first time.
Oh, yes.
The music swells. The ground shakes.
Oh, yeah.
And then that iconic roar.
Amazing.
Chills, literal chills.
Masterpiece of layering.
It is.
It just sends shivers down your spine.
It does.
And that brings us to dynamic mixing.
Dynamic mixing, okay.
Where sound levels are adjusted to create a really specific effect. Think of like a suspenseful scene.
Okay.
The music might swell as our protagonist creeps down this dark hallway. The sound effects intensify as something brushes against their leg.
Oh, no.
And then everything just goes silent before, boom, the sudden crash.
Oh, my gosh.
That really carefully crafted use of dynamics just creates a roller coaster of emotions. It does.
It really does.
So it's not just about what sounds are there, it's how they're used
Exactly.
to manipulate the viewer's experience.
Exactly. Let me give you another example that showcases the power of sound design.
Okay.
The shower scene in Psycho.
Oh, yeah. Psycho.
The sound of that slashing knife.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a melon being stabbed.
But it's the high-pitched, screeching violins in the score that truly creates that heart-stopping terror. The sound just elevates the violence to a visceral level.
That's incredible. It's like Hitchcock just knew how to play our emotions like a fiddle.
And that's the genius of great sound design. It works on this subconscious level,
Yeah.
enhancing the storytelling without you even realizing it. So next time you watch a movie, just try closing your eyes and just listen.
Okay.
You'll be amazed at how much sound contributes to the overall impact.
Okay. I'm definitely going to try that. Now I can't wait to get to the jaw-dropping moments that we often associate with post-production, the visual effects.
Ah, yes. VFX.
VFX.
This is where the impossible becomes possible, expanding the world of a story in ways that traditional filmmaking just can't achieve.
So like creating those epic lightsaber battles in Star Wars.
Exactly.
Or bringing those fantastical creatures to life in Lord of the Rings.
Yes. But visual effects are so much more than just spectacle.
Okay.
They can be used subtly to enhance realism,
Oh.
create historical settings, or even manipulate our emotional responses.
So it's not just about dragons and spaceships.
No.
VFX can actually be used to create a more believable world, even in a seemingly realistic film.
Absolutely. Think about a period drama like Titanic. While the ship itself was a real-life tragedy, many of those shots, like the sweeping vistas of the ship sailing on the open ocean, those were created using CGI. These effects blend seamlessly with the live-action footage. They transport you back in time to experience the grandeur of the ship.
Yeah, you would never be able to actually recreate those scenes practically.
You wouldn't.
And I'm sure VFX is also used to create realistic weather effects like rain or snow without needing to actually film in those conditions.
Exactly. It's about creating a convincing world for the story to unfold in.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've got the grand scale VFX,
Yes.
and then we've got the more subtle realism-enhancing VFX.
Right.
Are there any other ways that VFX is used in film?
Well, VFX can also play this really powerful role in manipulating emotions. Think of a superhero film like Avengers Endgame.
Oh, yeah?
When Thanos snaps his fingers.
Oh, no, not Thanos.
And half the population disappears, it's those visual effects that make that moment so impactful.
Oh, you know, it's heartbreaking.
Seeing those beloved characters just fade away into dust, it creates this visceral, gut-wrenching experience.
It's like VFX gives filmmakers the ability to just play with the laws of physics and reality.
Yes.
Making us feel things that we never even thought possible.
Exactly. And as technology continues to evolve, the possibilities of VFX are becoming even more limitless. It's an exciting time to be a filmmaker.
That's for sure.
And an even more exciting time to be a movie lover.
So we've covered editing, color, sound, and visual effects.
We have.
We've seen how these elements work together to create these truly captivating cinematic experiences.
Yes.
But who are the people behind the curtain?
Yes.
You know, the artists who actually bring these technical elements to life.
That's a great question. In the final part of our duck dive, we're going to step behind the scenes to meet that talented team of editors, colorists, sound designers, visual effects artists, and so many more who collaborate to create those movies and shows we love.
I can't wait to hear about the teamwork and artistry that goes into creating those movie magic moments. Stay tuned for part 3. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been uncovering all the secrets behind those movies and shows we love.
Those captivating
I
movies.
know, they're so good.
We've seen how editors weave together raw footage
Yeah.
to craft a compelling narrative.
Right.
How colorists paint with light and shadow
And like artists.
to set the mood.
Right.
How sound designers create immersive sonic landscapes, and how visual effects artists bend reality
It's crazy.
to bring the impossible to life.
It's been mind-blowing to see how much thought and artistry goes into those technical elements that we rarely think about.
I know, right.
But I am excited for today's deep dive because we're going behind the curtain to meet the talented individuals who make all of this movie magic happen.
The people behind the scenes.
I know.
It's easy to forget that there's a whole team of passionate artists and technicians
Yeah.
working tirelessly behind the scenes. They're the unsung heroes of post-production,
I really are.
pouring their heart and soul into every project.
So let's start with the editors.
Okay, the editor.
They're the ones who take all those hours of raw footage
I know it's a lot of footage.
and shape it into a cohesive story.
Exactly. Editors are like master storytellers
They are.
with this innate sense of pacing, rhythm, and emotion. They know how to create suspense, build tension, and deliver those heart-stopping moments that leave us breathless.
You know, I was recently watching this behind-the-scenes documentary about the making of Jaws.
Jaws, great movie.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating to see how the editor, Verna Fields,
Lorna Fields, yes.
she used editing to build suspense.
Yeah.
You know, she carefully chose which shots to use, how long to hold them, creating that sense of dread and anticipation before the shark finally appears.
That's a great example. She was a master at understanding how to manipulate time and tension through editing.
It's incredible.
She also knew how to use these subtler techniques like juxtaposing images or using quick cuts to foreshadow events or reveal character motivations.
Wow. It's like they're speaking a secret language,
They are.
communicating with the audience on a subconscious level.
It really is.
And remember, editors are also masters of collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
They work really closely with the director
Yes.
to realize their vision, shaping the film into its final form.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the editors crafting the narrative.
Right.
But what about the look and feel of the film?
That's where our colorists come in.
The colorists, okay.
They're the artists who use color to create the mood, atmosphere, and visual style of a film.
So it's more than just making the colors look pretty.
Oh, absolutely. Colors have this deep understanding of how color impacts our emotions.
I know, it's powerful.
Warm colors,
Yeah.
they can evoke feelings of happiness and comfort,
Okay.
while cool colors might create a sense of unease or mystery.
Like blues and greens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like how a painter uses color to express a specific emotion or idea.
Yeah, they're artists too.
Exactly. A great example of this is the film A Male.
Oh, I love that film.
The colorist used this vibrant, almost hyper-real color palette to create this whimsical and enchanting world
It's so beautiful.
that perfectly reflects Amelie's personality.
You know, I always loved the look of that film,
Yeah,
but I never realized it was such a deliberate choice to use color in that way.
it was.
And just like editors, colorists are masters of collaboration,
They are.
working closely with the director and the cinematographer to ensure that the color grading complements the overall vision for the film.
It's a team effort.
Okay, so we've covered the visuals,
Yes.
but what about the sound?
Oh, sound.
Yeah, it's got to be a huge part of post-production.
Absolutely. Our sound designers, they are the sonic architects
I love that.
who create those immersive soundscapes that bring a film to life.
You know, it's amazing how sound can just subtly manipulate our emotions.
It really can.
Like in a horror film, a creaking door,
Oh, yeah.
or a whisper.
Yeah.
It's just, I get chills thinking about it.
Exactly. Sound designers know how to use sound effects, dialogue, and music to heighten tension, amplify emotions, and just create a sense of realism.
Right.
Think about a scene that's set in a bustling city.
Okay.
The sound of traffic, chatter, sirens, it all blends together to create this believable soundscape that transports you right into that environment.
You know, one film that always stands out to me for its incredible sound design is Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan, oh yeah.
That opening scene of the D-Day landing is so visceral and immersive.
It really is.
You feel like you're right there on the beach with the soldiers.
That's a powerful example of how sound design can create this unforgettable experience. The sound designers used a combination of real recordings, Foley effects, and carefully placed sound effects
Oh.
to recreate the chaos and the intensity of that historic event.
It's incredible. So it's not just about creating realistic sounds. It's about using sound to tell a story and
Exactly.
evoke specific emotions.
Precisely. And sound designers often work with composers
Oh, right.
to create a musical score that complements the sound design and enhances the emotional impact of the film.
It all works together.
It does.
Now, we can't forget about the visual effects artists, the masters of illusion who bring the impossible to life,
Oh, yes.
the VFX
The
artists.
visual effects artists are the true magicians of post-production.
I know they are.
They're creating everything from fantastical creatures to epic battle scenes. They're constantly pushing the boundaries of technology, developing new techniques and tools to create ever more realistic and breathtaking effects.
You know, I remember watching the behind-the-scenes features for the Lord of the Rings trilogy and just being blown away by the amount of work that went into creating Gollum.
Gollum, oh yeah.
I mean, they used motion capture technology to record Andy Serkis's performance.
Right.
And then painstakingly animated the character on top of that footage.
It's
It's
amazing.
incredible.
That's a fantastic example of the artistry and technical skill that goes into creating those believable CGI characters. And it's not just about creating spectacle. VFX artists also use their skills to enhance realism, adding those subtle details that you might not even notice.
I know, it's crazy.
But that contributes to the believability of a film.
So it's not just about big, flashy effects.
No,
It's about creating that seamless blend between the real and the imaginary.
exactly. And visual effects artists work closely with the director, the cinematographer, the editors
Right.
to ensure that the effects serve the story and enhance the emotional impact of the film.
So we've met the editors,
Yeah,
the colorists,
yes.
the sound designers, and the visual effects artists. It's incredible to see how much talent and expertise goes into each of those disciplines. But I imagine the real magic happens when they all come together and collaborate.
You're absolutely right. Post-production is a truly collaborative process. It's like a giant puzzle, with each piece fitting perfectly together to create that final picture.
Yeah.
So the editors work with the colorists to make sure the visuals match the pacing and mood of the edit.
Right.
The sound designers work with the composers to create a score that complements the sound design.
Yeah.
And the visual effects artists, well, they work with everyone to make sure the effects blend seamlessly into the film.
Right. So it's all interconnected.
Exactly. It's this intricate dance of creativity and technical expertise with everyone working together to achieve this common goal, to create a film that will captivate audiences, evoke emotions, and tell a compelling story.
Well, there you have it, folks. We journeyed through the fascinating world of post-production, from the initial stages of editing to the mind-blowing magic of visual effects.
It's quite a journey.
We've met the talented artists and technicians who bring these stories to life and seen how their collaboration transforms raw footage into those cinematic masterpieces we all love.
Yes.
So next time you're watching a movie or a TV show, remember all that incredible work that goes on behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Pay attention to the subtle details, the masterful editing, the evocative color palette, that immersive sound design, and the breathtaking visual effects. You'll see the film with fresh eyes, appreciating the artistry and technical wizardry that makes it so captivating. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've gained a newfound appreciation for the power and magic of post-production.